everybody, it's Grace. This is my kind of like part 2 to my first video that I did about kind of like the origins of the dream realm, I guess, the origins of my books and stuff. And today I'm doing kind of like what my book is about, all that good stuff. Kind of like it's kind of like when you walk into a bookstore and you read the synopsis on a book or whatever, whether it's on the inside or on the back, and you read it and you're like, oh, I want to read this type of thing. It's like that. I'll just be giving you a synopsis, just longer than a little short synopsis. So I have Philip with me, because, no wait, his name's not Philip. I always forget your name. What is it? Leonardo. I always want to say Philip, but that's my hippo. This is Leonardo. And he's joined me today because last time I was getting bored and I was just like, and I want something to squish. I want something to hold, like a sensory thing. And this is what Leonardo is for. So I will be squishing Leonardo throughout this entire video. Yes, I will, because I love Leonardo. I pretty much just have him for stress because last time I was like, oh, I have to explain so much. And yeah, it was hard. So I'm going to just try to rush through it. And I'm going to be using this guy because it does help me talk. So, yeah, I'm going to just, yeah. So getting into the video, because I don't want to make another 17-minute long video. That's a lot. And me just sitting here, it gets boring. So I'm just going to say what I need to say. My book is about a young girl named Amethyst Jane May. M-A-E is her last name. And she is a spy for the Kingdom of Belnar. She wasn't... Belnar... Okay, I think I mentioned this in the last book. Oh my gosh. I think I mentioned this in the last video. Belnar is a kingdom on a planet called Omark. And Omark is in a war with the planet Rayleigh. Pretty much my story is kind of like... It's like fantasy, but there's a lot of sci-fi into it too. It's like Star Wars, where there's a bunch of different planets, and a lot of my stories take place on each of those planets, but, and this one takes place on Omark, but, what was I gonna say? I keep losing my train of thought. Anyways, so, basically, it's like Star Wars, so there's a bunch of different planets, and each story takes place on one of those planets, usually, and this series takes place on Omark, in the Kingdom of Belnar, specifically, about this girl named Amethyst May, and she's a spy. Her spy team, because she has a spy team, is called Silent Edge, and that's the name of my book, Silent Edge in the Sorcerer's City. And her team is made up of her brother Zach, which is only a year younger than her, he's 17, and her younger sister Sapphire, which I think is 14. I always forget her age, but I'm pretty sure she's 14. And I'll explain more about those three. I mean, I'm going to explain a lot about Amethyst in this video, but I'll explain more about, like, the characters in the next video. I'm going to do, like, a character video, and I may have to split that up into multiple parts because there's so many characters that I need to talk about. Maybe a video for each character. But in this video, I'm basically going to be telling you about Amethyst, and without giving too many spoilers about my book, because I don't want to, like, spoil everything about Amethyst. But, I will try to tell you most stuff. So, Amethyst is on a spy team called Silent Edge, and she loves it. She's been a spy for, I want to say, since she was 16, so like 3 years, 16, 17. Because she's 16, I don't want to do the math, but 16, so say she's 16 and then she's 18 now. I don't know, I don't want to do the math, maybe 2 or 3 years. I don't know, something like that. And, because originally, when she first came to Belnar, let's just put it this way. I need to do a little backstory here. Amethyst was a brat, and both her parents died, and Zach and her lost her parents very young, and Sapphire is their not stepsister, half-sister, so there's a lot to go on about that, but I'll explain that in the character video. And they ran away from home, Sapphire running away from her real father, and Amethyst and Zach running away from their stepfather. And because they didn't like him very much, even Sapphire didn't like him. They ran away. These couple of military guys captains from Belnar, actually, came to Rayleigh, because Amethyst is Rayleighan, just so you know. She was born on Rayleigh, and so were her siblings. But she goes to Omark. So let me explain. They were in this kingdom, so they've been traveling for a little bit, not long, and they came to these 3 kingdoms that were kind of like all together. They're 3 separate kingdoms, but they kind of work together, and they are actually helping Omark with the war. They're not a part of the Raylican side of the war. They're helping Omark, but like secretly. So there were these 2 Omarkan guys there, captains from Belnar, the kingdom of Belnar, to pick up some things and like give them some, I don't know, leads or whatever. And one of them, Captain Philip, he sees Amethyst and her siblings, and he notices something about them. They work really, really well together. Like, really well together. I mean, they were stealing food to try to survive, which he noticed too, which was not good on their part. But he still noticed that they were, like, they really worked well together. They had, like, their codes and stuff. And he noticed, even staying there a little bit longer, just a couple of days, he noticed they never went home to a family. He never saw their parents. And he was wondering about that. So he thought of the best idea. He talked to them. He talked to Amethyst specifically. And long story short, he brought them to Belnar, the kingdom of Belnar, which is on Omark. Don't forget. Belnar is a kingdom on Omark. And Belnar is where most of this stuff takes place. He takes them to the Queen, Haven, which is, she's only like 18 at this time, because Haven was coronated very young due to her whole backstory. I'll explain that in the character video, but I'm not going to get into it now because we'll get another 17-minute video. But he takes her to Haven, her and her siblings, and they meet Haven and her little brother Turk, which is the same age as Zack. So I'm going to say Amethyst is 10, Zack and Turk are 9, and then Sapphire, I forgot how old she is, but anyway, Sapphire's young. They're pretty young at this point, and Haven talks to them, and they tell them about their backstory, and Haven's like, you can stay here. And Amethyst notices the difference between Raylicans and Omarkans. She notices that the Raylicans are really the bad guys in the war, and that the Omarkans are doing the right thing. So she decides to, like, live here. This is a great place. Belnar is a kingdom of peace. Yes, they have a military. Yes, sometimes they help other kingdoms with the war, but they are not a part of the war. They try to keep themselves very distant from that, because it's a very peaceful kingdom. There's, like, no crime, even though they have a military. But they work hard, and they train to fight, even though there's a peaceful kingdom, because they don't just want to, like, slack, I guess, and not do anything. Oh, we're a peaceful kingdom. No. They still work hard. And Captain Philip, Lore, he's captain in the military, notices that Amethyst really needs to just learn, because she's not respectful, she's not, disciplined. And he noticed that she just, what's the word I'm thinking of? She relies on herself too much, and she's not loyal. And Haven gives Captain Philip the great idea of having her join his military strike team. He's like, that's stupid, she's so young. She's like, she needs someone like you. And he's like, okay. So this isn't in the story, this isn't really in the book, but this is kind of a backstory to the book, because if you understand this, you're going to understand the book when you read it. And, it explains a lot. So, where was I? Amethyst May joins the military for a short time. Now, because she is so young, she doesn't join exactly at 10. I think she joins, like, a few years later, like at 11 or 12. So she can't go on big missions. She can't do anything big, but she can do small things, and she can help with the military a little bit. She, like, training. And she does get trained. And Philip really beats it into her, like, you're being an idiot. Seriously. And she's like, wow, he seems so mean. But they grow on each other, and Philip is like a father figure to Amethyst. And Amethyst really loves him. And Amethyst realizes that all she needed all these years was just because her dad died when she was young, her mom died when she was young, her stepfather was not really that good of a guy, and she just needed someone to really train her. And that was what Captain Philip did, is he took her and he taught her discipline and taught her how to earn respect. And she gives all her thanks to him, and she, like, did go on some military missions because she was in the military for a while. Then she turns 16 and she decides to become a spy. She's like, the military just isn't for me. I'm not that type of person. She becomes a spy because if Raylikins change the way they look, that's a lot of explanation, so just don't worry about that. But she looks different on Omark than she does on Raylik, so her Raylik form is different than her Omarkan form. She looks more human on Omark. And she decided to become a spy for Belnar because if she goes to Raylik, they're going to see her as a true Raylikin, so they will never think anything of her being a spy. So she becomes a spy for her best friend Haven, Queen Haven. They're best friends now, and Turk is also her friend. But, and so, yeah, she becomes a spy, and she has her own spy team called Silent Edge. So Silent Edge in the Sorcerer's City is the name of my first book, because it's about Silent Edge, the spy team, and the Sorcerer's City, which is a lot, and I'm not going to get into that today. But basically, my book is about this girl, Amethyst May. It starts off where she's 18, so it's been a while. But there's a little bit, in like the prologue of the first chapter, there's a little bit of explanation of what I just told you. And then obviously it's mentioned throughout the book, because I've heard a lot of my friends telling me that they don't want info dumping in books. And I'm like, okay, so how do I do this? It starts off where she's 18. She's been having these weird dreams or visions. She doesn't know what's going on. And she like starts to feel weird emotions, weird things. Something's going wrong with her. And she wants to figure out what it is. Haven calls her one morning, or a few days before, and she's like, Amethyst, I need you to go pick up my brother. It's not exactly like that. Amethyst goes to the castle and talks to Haven a little bit about her dreams and blah, blah, blah. And then Haven's like, hey, can you go pick up my brother Turk? And Amethyst is like, what? What do you mean? Like, he's the prince. You shouldn't be sending him off on missions. She's like, well, you know, there was something going on and family stuff that I can't really tell you. And she's like, Amethyst is like, what? You don't just send the prince off. He's the prince. You're only heir. You don't just send him off on missions. And Haven's like, well, you know, there's some bandits after him, and that he can't really get away back home, and I just need someone to go pick him up. She's like, but don't go today, because it's morning time, and he was on another planet, and that planet, time is different, so Amethyst would have gone at night. Amethyst would have gone during the daytime. But it's like different daytime, and the people on that planet are out during the daytime, and they're not the nicest of people. They're nice, but not to foreigners. And they secretly are conspiring with Raylikin. Sorry guys, it's getting really dark. I have limited daylight. But as I was saying, yeah, so Amethyst goes to pick up Turk, but she doesn't tell her siblings that they're going on a mission to pick up the prince, because she's like, this is just stupid. Amethyst thinks missions like that are stupid. She's like, Haven, I'm a spy. I'm not a babysitter. But Turk isn't bad, okay? Turk's not a troublemaker. He's awesome. But anyways, Sapphire and Zach, they're in this city, but it's at nighttime because they go the next day. So they go at nighttime to the planet that Turk is on. And, like, Sapphire and Zach are so confused. And then they find Turk. Long story short, they bring Turk back. They're like, Amethyst, why didn't you tell us? Turk notices that something is off with Amethyst too, like he's noticing something. There's a whole thing going on where, like, throughout what's happening in the chapters, Amethyst notices, like, everything is just happening. Everything is just happening fast. Like, I just don't feel like I can get a break. Everything is just happening, boom, 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 boom. And then she's like, I don't know, something's going on with me. I've been having these dreams that just are so vivid and keep telling me things, keep making me feel like I have to be sorry about who I was in the past, being a brat. It's like I was so horrible, and I just don't want to go back to that life. And everyone's trying to tell her, you're fine, don't worry about it. The past is the past, you've changed, you're a different person. But she just holds on to it from what she's seeing in her dreams. Turk notices, and Amethyst realizes that she has to trust Turk. Because somebody told her, I can't get into details, but somebody told her, trust the Vireltons. And Haven and Turk are Vireltons. And Amethyst says, okay. So, and he said, this guy that was talking to Amethyst, there's a guy that was talking to her, and he said, Amethyst, you need to go on this mission. I know what's happening to you. The same thing happened to me, and it's going to happen to so many more if you don't do this. I need you to go on a mission, and I need you to trust the Vireltons. And she's like, what? Like, this is weird. And so she does trust him, surprisingly. And Amethyst is, like, fighting herself because she's like, usually I would never trust someone that just came to me and says that. But she trusts this guy. Something about him she trusts. And she notices that he is Raylikin like her. because Omarkans all have like bright eyes because they used to be hypnotizers. They all have really bright eyes, and Amethyst notices that. And he didn't have eyes. He had eyes like hers. He didn't have bright eyes. And she's like, "You're Raylacan." Like she notices that. And he's like, "Yeah, I am." So she's trying to figure out what the guy's talking about. There's a few meetings with him, and Amethyst decides, Haven can't go with me on a mission because she's the queen, and that would be horrible, taking her away from her people. But Turk can, and when she tells this to Haven and Turk, Haven's like, wait, weren't you the person that just told me not to send my brother on missions because he's the prince? She's like, well, yeah, I did, but I really need him on this mission. I really need him. Turk comes, and he's like, Amethyst, I know it's not just you needing me because last time, even though you picked me up, I was still good helping you guys. It's like, there's something beyond this. Tell me what's going on. Basically, the whole point of the story is Amethyst trying to stop something from hurting her. She feels something is wrong. She's been having these dreams. She feels like there's a connection to somebody she knows but doesn't know. And that person's trying to get inside her and trying to stop her from doing things. And Amethyst is like, this cannot happen. I need to figure out what's going on. So she gets Turk to help her. And Zack and Sapphire, her siblings, also go. They go on a mission. And they try to find out what's up with Amethyst. And they do. They find stories, and they find this poem that the guy that was talking to Amethyst gave her. And they find all these things, and they realize that they have to go to the Sorcerer's City. Amethyst finds the Sorcerer's City. Obviously, that's not spoiling anything, because the book is literally called Amethyst Man, Sorcerer's City. It's getting really dark in here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. There we go. Okay, just for a little bit, because I'm not going to talk for much longer. Basically, the story is Amethyst May figures something's wrong. She knows something's wrong. She can tell. And then she gets her little team set up. Her spy team, Silent Edge, which is already a thing, her and her two siblings. And then the Prince of Belnar, who she needs his help with. She needs his help with this mission because the guy told her so. She's like, okay, fine. They go on a mission, and they find out so many things. Their lives are changed after this. Amethyst never thought she'd find out what she finds out, and she saves herself. She stops those dreams from happening, those nightmares. She finds the person that's trying to get into her head, and she works it out with her team and her family. It's a great story. I love it because it's about siblings mainly, like Amethyst, Zack, and Sapphire being siblings and stuff, and Haven and Turk even. And it's just really special. And I love that because I'm very close to my brothers. So when I created the story, I tried to create a good, strong sibling bond. And I just love it. It's great. That's pretty much it. If I missed anything, I'll explain it in the next video. Next time, I'm going to be explaining my characters, so I'm going to be saying, like, what Amethyst looks like, kind of her, I don't know, personality, what she likes, what she dislikes. Zack, can't forget Zack. I actually put a picture of Zack in my YouTube post, so if you haven't seen that, I would go check it, because I am starting to draw him, and I finished drawing him. I did, but I didn't finish coloring him in, because I'm worried to color him in, because I'm worried it's going to look bad. Sapphire, which is awesome. She's young, but she's really smart and silly, and yeah, I love Sapphire. And then there's Turk, and Turk is just amazing. I'd say Turk is the most like me at its core. If you think of like personality-wise, not fully, he's more funny than me. But there's just a lot of things kind of like that you don't know about Turk, and you kind of learn more about him through the series, and that's kind of like me. A lot of the stuff you learn about him is kind of very similar to my personality. So, and Haven too, I love Haven. I'm going to be talking about, like, most of my characters. But this video has already taken me 19 minutes, and I said I was going to go shorter than the last episode. And I'm mad that I made it longer, because I can go on for hours. And it got really dark in here, because I was going to film earlier, but I had to do stuff for my family. So, yeah, I didn't get to film it as early. But daylight savings is happening soon. So next time, when I film it this time, it'd be light outside, so I don't go dark again, because it is annoying filming in the dark. But I have to do it in the evenings because I have school and a bunch of family stuff to take care of during the day, so I can't film it during the day. But in the summer and when daylight savings happens, it's going to be so much easier to film in here. Anyways, that's pretty much it. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video. I'm hoping I can film it very soon, but I want to finish the thumbnail because I have a really cool thumbnail for it that I'm drawing on Procreate, but I just want to wait a little bit because it's going to take a while. So I want to finish that, and then I'll upload the next video. So yeah, sorry if I keep you guys waiting. I'll probably be doing some silly shorts or some silly videos about stuff, besides this, but, I just wanted to do this video because I said I was going to film it last week and then we got sick, so that never happened. But, yeah, so that's pretty much it, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. I really enjoyed talking to you guys, even though you're not really talking to me, but you're on the other side, and yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Sorry it got so dark in here. So hopefully next time I will film earlier and you guys will be able to see me. And hopefully next time, yeah, next time's going to be a wild ride, because I'm going to probably explain 2 characters in one video, hopefully, unless I get sidetracked. So yeah, we may have to do like 5 or 6 videos just for characters. But yeah, see you guys in the next video, and that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say for today. Bye!